Imagine traveling to distant stars in a matter of seconds, rather than years. This is the promise of the Alcubierre warp drive, a hypothetical method of faster-than-light travel proposed by physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994. But what exactly is the Alcubierre warp drive, and how does it work? In this documentary, we'll explore the science behind this idea and its potential implications for space travel. The Alcubierre warp drive works by creating a region of spacetime with negative mass-energy density. This region, known as a warp bubble, would cause spacetime to contract in front of a spacecraft and expand behind it, effectively moving the spacecraft at faster-than-light speeds without violating the laws of relativity. However, the amount of negative energy required to create a stable warp bubble is enormous, and it's unclear whether it's even possible to generate such energy. One of the biggest challenges facing the development of the Alcubierre warp drive is the enormous amount of negative energy required to create a stable warp bubble. This energy would need to be generated and sustained for the entire duration of the journey, which could be millions of years. Additionally, the warp bubble would need to be stabilized and controlled, which is a daunting task given the complexities of space-time. If the Alcubierre warp drive were possible, it would have a profound impact on space travel and exploration. We could travel to distant stars and galaxies in a matter of seconds, rather than years, and explore the universe in ways previously unimaginable. We could also use warp drive to travel to other planets and moons in our solar system, opening up new possibilities for colonization and resource extraction. While the Alcubierre warp drive is still purely theoretical, researchers are actively exploring the possibilities and challenges of warp drive. Scientists are using computer simulations and mathematical models to study the behavior of warp bubbles and the effects of negative energy on spacetime. However, much more research is needed to determine whether the Alcubierre warp drive is even possible, let alone practical. There are many obstacles that must be overcome before the Alcubierre warp drive can become a reality. These include the enormous amount of negative energy required, the need for stable and controlled warp bubbles, and the complexities of space-time. Additionally, the technology required to generate and sustain negative energy is far beyond our current capabilities, and it's unclear whether it's even possible to develop such technology. While the Alcubierre warp drive is still purely theoretical, it's an idea that has captured the imagination of scientists and science fiction fans alike. If it were possible to develop a practical warp drive, it would revolutionize space travel and exploration, opening up new possibilities for humanity's expansion into the universe. However, much more research is needed to determine whether the Alcubierre warp drive is even possible, let alone practical. If the Alcubierre warp drive were possible, it would have a profound impact on our understanding of the universe and our place within it. It would allow us to travel to distant stars and galaxies, and to explore the universe in ways previously unimaginable. It would also raise important questions about the nature of spacetime and the laws of physics, and would challenge our current understanding of the universe. In conclusion, the Alcubierre warp drive is a fascinating idea that has captured the imagination of scientists and science fiction fans alike. While it's still purely theoretical, it's an idea that has the potential to revolutionize space travel and exploration. As we continue to explore the possibilities and challenges of warp drive, we may uncover new and exciting possibilities for humanity's expansion into the universe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more space documentaries and content about the wonders of the universe.